What the heck? It's 7 o'clock. When are you going to go back to practice?
I have been so busy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
That was like 2 or 3
You're
weeks
like a week late.
But then you did. I didn't take it last week. It's also like
Happy birthday, Amber. It's your birthday today?
no, weeks ago.
I know, thank you.
It's kind of like go put yourself like
Yeah.
to me, like on this side, this side.
Abby, you know, like Timmy Alstrom?
Well, how do you know Timmy Alstrom?
I wasn't conscious. Sorry, I wasn't.
Wait, what?
Now, you know what?
How do you know Timmy
No, I just want to say hi to you.
Really?
I just want to say hi.
How do you know Gabby?
You're gonna stay?
You lived on our floor for a second?
Yeah, I was like, the thought was
Okay.
There you go. Oh, I'll show you. Who knows, maybe this will be so interesting. You're like,
Try.
stay in. You're doing great.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
wait, yeah, so I was gonna say Timmy.
Challenge over here.
Yeah.
Amber. Amber.
Whoa. How do I become an ambassador?
Ironically,
Yeah?
this Leary is great.
I can't hear you.
Leary
I can't hear you. What are you saying? It's out?
Yeah.
Carlo, perfect. That's how you sound. But ask me.
Okay, I'll know by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's
This is stand-up show.
I wanted to, I was thinking about
Kyle.
Oh, the line.
what?
So fun.
We got a cat.
Did you sing?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody, take your seats.
Hold it, Kyle. No one's coming.
Wait,
Wait till I get up there.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, let's get started. First off, every time.
One sec.
May we, the Student Senate, have the wisdom, patience, and guidance to be responsible representatives. May we be fair in judgments, enlightened in our discussions, and ethical in our actions. Can I get a Go Broncos?
Go
Broncos!
Okay, so, I know it's kind of weak. Want us to redo it? I mean, you can have us redo it at the end of your.
All right, I will.
Okay. We do have a, oh wait, let's do roll call first.
Christina. Here. Cole.
Here.
Leo.
Here.
Ariel. Present. Meg. Here. Abby. Here. Justin.
Here.
Carmen.
Here.
Raul.
Here.
Luke.
Here.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Amber. Here. Zachary.
Here.
Juliana. Cam.
Here.
Eric.
Here.
Vidya. Here. Allie.
Present.
Emmy. Here. Duncan.
Here.
Mika.
Here.
Melanie. Present.
Okay. So, to get started, can I get a motion to approve the previous minutes?
Motion to approve the previous minutes.
Motion from Eric, second from Luke. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion from Raul, second from Abby. All in favor?
Hold on. I was just curious one thing about the agenda.
Okay.
I just noticed, like, do we have an order of? Give me 1 second. I just came from mock trial, and my brain is full of mock trial things.
Okay.
I noticed that the agenda has new business before old business. Are we planning on doing that, or does the bylaws prevent
This
that?
was the bylaws don't say anything about it. This was the most efficient way to do it.
They do. They give an order of business, which.
We can talk about that later. How about that?
Okay, can we approve an agenda that violates that order of business, or is that fine? Great.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. Like that emotion.
Motion from Raul, second from Cam. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. So, special order of business. We have a guest speaker, Renee Baumgartner, the Director of Athletics. She's here.
Hi, you guys. I'm going to go around the middle. How's everybody this evening? I know it is
late. We're later in the week, but I'm glad you guys are here. I love coming and talking to ASG and talking about what we're doing in athletics, and want to hear about all the great things that you guys are doing or any concerns that you have. So I'm Renee Baumgartner. I've been the Director of Athletics for 4 years. I tell everybody it's 5th year, so 5th gear, let's go. And I really am excited about everything that's transpired so far in athletics. You probably don't know this, but when I first got here, I was at the University of Oregon for 22 years, and I was at Syracuse for 4. I was a student athlete. I was a coach for 13 years. I coached women's golf at the collegiate level, and have my master's and PhD. And so when my dream at 22, when I was your age, was to become a Division I athletic director back in the early 90s, one female that was a Division I athletic director, but it really didn't matter to me. I felt like if I worked really hard and if I had all the credentials, checked the boxes, that I'd have a chance of going and being a Division I athletic director. When the Santa Clara job opened, my brother was a Bronco. He played college golf here in the 80s. So I followed him very closely. I think I came to Santa Clara a few times when I was a freshman in college and may have partied with him once or twice on this campus. But I fell in love with this campus really early and thought what an amazing place, great people, and if I could have the opportunity to come to Santa Clara and lead and develop some school spirit and have some winning traditions, it would be a pretty good ride. So when I got here, my daughter is like, okay, Mom, let's go walk on the let's go get on the treadmill. So we go down to our weight room, and, you know, Kate, you can, your name Kate, right? You can address it. Our weight room's probably about as big as here to the thing. It's been there since the 60s. Walked down and said, you know, it's 6 o'clock at night. I'd like to run on the treadmill. Sorry, I know you're the new AD, but we don't have a treadmill. You're a Division I program. You have 20 sports. You have 350 student athletes, and you don't have a treadmill. I seriously thought he was kidding. He said, no, we don't have a treadmill. We don't have enough room, and we had one, and it broke down. So, of course, within a few months, we had a treadmill. That was ridiculous. I thought to myself, what did I get myself into? And my daughter's walking upstairs, seriously, Mom, they don't have a treadmill? So we had to do a lot of heavy lifting. So imagine having 2 sports medicine trainers. They were our assistant athletic directors in 80 years. 80 years. So one was there for 40, the next year was for 40. Imagine how much technology and data and everything that has changed in a very short period of time. So we had to change how everything was done in our sports medicine area. We had strength coaches for the majority of our teams that were coming in from outside different trainer thing and coaching our teams, giving them strength. You know what the liability of that would be? That's scary as an athletic director. So we have all of our teams have strength trainers under our roof. We had vans that had 250, 300,000 miles on them. And our student athletes like Kate were driving out early in the morning at 5 a.m. in vans that could break down. We bought 7 new vans. We got a grant, and we thought that that was really important for our student athletes. And then I had to fire several coaches, 6 or 7 coaches. It was really hard. When you have to let somebody go, it's challenging, but every single student athlete that we've replaced a coach with has thanked us for hiring someone that can help them achieve their academic and their athletic goals. Because I can tell you, student athletes come to Santa Clara because it's an incredible place. You know, as you all picked it yourselves, beautiful campus, Silicon Valley, high academics. Congratulations to all of you. It's incredible. And we have really good facilities considering that the university had not invested in 25 to 30 years. And now with the Blue Ribbon Commission report that was passed the year before I got here, that they wanted to invest in athletics, or I would have not come to Santa Clara. I'm super excited. This year we have every program at this point in time has a winning record. That hasn't happened, I believe, since I've been here. I hope several of you have come out and seen women's soccer, men's soccer, our water polo programs. Men's and women's basketball has just started. They are all significantly better. We do have challenges in this report. You know, the Gonzagas and everybody continue to get better. We've continued a little bit, but we're still behind. But as you all see, we have this incredible new athletic excellence center that we put together. And honestly, we're excited that we're going to be able to give the student body the opportunity to use one of the gyms from 5 to midnight and on the weekends. for intramurals, for club sports, whatever rec decides they'd like that building for, we're able to close it off and open it up to all students. So I'm really excited about that. We raised $34 million in about 10 months for that building. The cost of the building right now is, they put it at 38, but it had a 14% contingency, which we will not use. And the president of DevCon, who was a former student athlete, Gary Filzetti, if you see DevCon all over, they build Stanford, they're building STEM here, they built pretty much all the buildings on this campus. He's our project manager. You know how nice it is to have the president of DevCon at every single meeting? So there was a 5x5. 5x5 is not very big. Cement thing that was going to hold up our entire permit. He said, you call Albanese, you tell him I want him out here in 2 hours and I want that thing filled. That would not have happened with Joe, the project manager, but when the president's there, things get moving. So we're ahead of schedule, hopefully moving in August. It's a new weight room, new treatment center, new academic center, and 2 gyms and a fuel station for us. So we finally are going to act, look, and feel like a successful Division I program. And here's what I tell everybody. I tell everybody, Santa Clara, of all the schools, you've got Gonzaga and St. Mary's has had their niche, let's just say with men's basketball with the Australian connection. We are the ones that you can poke the bear, and we're waking up. We're finally waking up after 25 years. But you know what, you guys? We don't have any traditions. We don't have any. We have a freshman and a sophomore class, and no offense to the juniors and seniors, but this is a group of kids that have decided they have spirit and they want to try to change things. And they're kind of bringing the juniors and the seniors along. So let's look at this little clip that I brought. So we had our baseball team. They had a consultant come in. They did Bronco Jacks. I think some of you have probably heard of it. Go B, R, O. So they did it at a volleyball game. But they had a consultant come in and they did it for an hour and 55 minutes. 40 student athletes were trying to do it in unison without screwing it up. Someone screwed it up, they tried again. And they have this thing down. I saw it at volleyball and I said, oh my God, this is the tradition that I want to go viral for Santa Clara. I want everybody in the country to go, oh shit, this is amazing. You know what? We're 6 for 13. We have had them miss 7 free throws because of Bronco Jacks. I need everybody to come to the games, be silly, be part of this Bronco Jacks. Let's post it, let's repost it, and let's be the class. Let's be the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors that finally start a tradition at Santa Clara. Finally. Sahil, you can go out as student body president going, we actually started a tradition at Santa Clara University. So here it is, if we can play. Just a short clip. And I don't even know if I hope it plays. Watch and shoot. Can you guys imagine Gonzaga when the whole thing is filled and we're doing Bronco Jacks? Raise your hand, can you? See, everybody see it? Do it. Will you do it? Will you do it? So that's what I need from you guys. I need school spirit. I need this. If we are going to have a better basketball program. We're already 3-0. We play Stanford on Saturday. Our women's team almost beat number 18 Arizona. They just got a 6'5", 6'7", 6'3" recruit. I need you guys to come. There's not very many games left before Thanksgiving break and Christmas break. Here, I actually wrote them down so I can tell you. Okay. So on November 19th, I need you there. November 22nd, we play Idaho State. December 7th at 2 o'clock. I know you've got finals on the 8th. Here, I'll tell you guys all of them. You got finals, but we play Cal. We play a Power 5 school at 2 o'clock. You can take a study break. You can come have some fun, and by 4 o'clock, you can go back to study. Okay, everybody write it down. December 7th, Cal, 2 o'clock. Okay? And then when you come back, we don't have a game until January 18th. Okay, we have one January 3rd, but then you guys won't be back then. So I really need you to look at the basketball schedule. November 19th, and I'm going to pull out, I don't have my phone. Somebody go to SantaClaraBroncos.com and find out what time these games are. I think they're at 7, 7, and 2. November 19th, November 22nd, December 7th, and then January 18th. All right? Okay. So, what else do I need to tell you about athletics? We're super excited, and we're excited that you guys are excited. And I want to thank you guys because this year is probably one of the best years that we've had. You guys have helped with tabling for our games, and then you also did the Bronco Corral. You dressed up in the silly outfits, and you are really, really great. So I know we can have some tremendous synergy. I want to be part of what you guys are doing, and I want you to be part of what we're doing. And I want you to be the group that can actually help us take that next step into bringing some school spirit and some fun. We're going to have $2 beer night. We sell beer for $2. You're 21 and over, we're going to have $2 beer night. Come and drink a beer, sit in the student section. It's legal. If you're 21, you only get 3 drinks, but hey, come, hot dog night too. You have $2 cheap for a hot dog. So we're trying to do some things to bring you guys in, and you know what? You may not even know what basketball is, but if your friends are there and you're having fun, it won't matter. And if we win, it's even going to be more fun. So, okay, don't forget, everybody needs to scan. We got to win. We're already 150 points down. Today I've done my 4. I need everybody else to do it, and you need to have your friends do it as well. This thing's going to come down to a competition. Pepperdine's out. Are we really going to let LNU beat us? There's no way. No. So I'm going to put all of us, I send out emails to my staff, you know, I talk to every student athlete. You guys need to be on this for another week. Let's go win this $100,000 for sustainability. It's the right thing to do. And let's be competitive about it. Okay, so I want to know what you guys want to know. I want to know questions, comments, concerns. You know, what can we do to help energize your areas? You know, we want our student athletes to support you, and we want you to support us. But I really need ASG and our student athletes to be the heartbeat of this campus. I really want us to work together, and I want to generate this school spirit and school pride. And I want you guys to get the section 101s and 102s and 103s up and screaming because they need to mirror what you guys are doing. All right? So what kind of questions?
Some of us, or like 2 committees, were actually tabling outside of one of the basketball games 2 nights ago, and we were wondering if for next week, for the November 19th game, we could either do that again or have the people at the entrance scan as students are coming in. So have all the people scan.
Absolutely.
Okay, is there a way to like delegate that to the people that are working? Okay.
Okay, so I need you to email me,
Okay.
and then I'm going to get the people in charge that are going to help organize that. Okay, it's rbaumgartner@scu.edu. BAUMGARTNER. It's on the board when you post the agenda. rbaumgartner@scu. Okay, love that idea. Okay, what else? Yes.
When are the $2 beer nights and the hot
I know that Cal is going to have the $2 beer, and I'll make sure they have the hot dogs too.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll be
Cal
there.
for sure. All right, put those down and spread the word. Okay, and you should get it. It should be online, but we'll do a better job of making sure you guys know that. Because I basically said if we can get students to every game, we may do $2 a lot
Yeah.
for beer. That's fun. Just follow the rules. Do not give them to the underage students, so you guys will get in trouble.
So yeah, that's one of the things I was curious about. Is there like a section? Are you guys keeping it isolated to just one section?
No. So what happens is Renee Baumgartner goes in with my ID. I get a wristband. I have to go buy. I only get 1 beer. They clip it. You only get 3 beers. And then I can sit in my seat. But the wristband is very evident. We have security everywhere. So if you hand her a beer and she doesn't have a wristband on, it's not going to be good for you. Yeah. It's not good. It's very well. We haven't had any issues. I mean, if you have, we sell beer, whatever Bon Appetit sets the price at. And so we figured maybe a student would buy a beer at $8. But now if we go $2, it could be a little different story. But if it's going to generate spirit and get you guys, you can't get drunk, I don't think, on 2 beers or 3 beers in 2 hours. Maybe you can. I doubt it. So, but that's not the point. The point is really just to get people to come to the games and have some fun, and be responsible too. Yeah. So.
Melanie?
I
I know that although we do have some students who are interested in going to the games, they aren't Rough Riders and financially they are unable to go. Is there a way for us to either provide scholarships or provide reduced fees for that?
So can you email me that? Okay, and then tell me how many students or how you would, I mean, let's talk about it. Absolutely, absolutely.
Would the new gym be open to everyone, or is it just?
The one, so what happens is if you look at the facility, here's Mally and here's the pool. There's one gym that goes this way and there's one gym that goes this way. This gym that's closest to Mally is the one that we are gonna close off, and there's an entrance right here. So from 5 to midnight on the weekends, that gym will be run by rec. So, but the rest of the facility will not be, the weight room and the treatment center will not be available, only the student athletes.
One more question. Luke.
Yeah, so you mentioned like traditions and like cultivating the culture that I've heard you talk about and like making it a special place here. So I'm just wondering like if there's anything like in specific or anything like you have in mind about like creating like your vision and for the coming years and like how you want the energy to be on campus around joining games and yeah, just that.
So ideally, I'd like it to be very similar to a Villanova or Gonzaga. The students get there 30 minutes before. They all have it on their calendars. Every single student, one of my recommendations next year is not to have a Rough Rider, to just have any student that wants to come, undergraduate, graduate, come without a ticket. And I think that's going to happen. Don't hold me to it, but really good that it happens. I know it's $100 for 4 years total, $100. It's probably, and you get 4 t-shirts, probably the best deal that Santa Clara has. But if it's going to allow 10, 15, 20 more students to come, then I'm willing to, just allow everybody to come. I want people to come because they know that it's important for us, and I want our basketball team to win. I mean, we're gonna win this year, you guys, and if you guys don't show up, then what does that say to all this hard work and resources that we've put in? I mean, really, this has got to be a collective effort from our alumni coming, our students coming, recruiting the right coaches, the right student athletes, and building something. We're 25 years behind, but we've got a chance. I know you guys probably don't know this, but in our conference, and I know I'm going to keep it really short, Mark Few in Gonzaga was threatening to leave the conference about 1.5 years ago. Yeah, I know. Pack their bag, let them go. And
They didn't even win.
And so what happened was they get $2 million in revenue. We get about $165,000. We went from 18 to 16 games scheduled because he didn't want to play the bottom 2 teams. So that cost me another $70,000 to $80,000 for each game. So probably another $160,000. Then the top 2 teams get a triple bye to the semifinal. Every Power 5 Big East school, they divide their resources with all their schools equally. But not us, because the only one that voted against it was Father Ing, which I give him props for. That should be a whatever, because he said no. Everyone should be like everybody else. So all I said, and everybody said to Mark Few and to the AD is, if you're going to say, like your parents would say, or your mother would say, can't say something nice, don't say anything at all, okay? Talk positively about our conference. We're trying to get more teams in than just one. So fast forward 5 months later, it was voted on in June, not this last June, but the June before. In October, go to Media Day, and he goes, this is not socialism. The other administrators in our conference have been stealing from us for years. We're the only program that's investing, and the other programs aren't even trying. Okay, we just got our facility approved, the AEC. I put a full page ad in the Gonzaga thing with his quote, other programs aren't even trying. Mark Few, Las Vegas, the big picture, the AEC coming soon, $25 million donated by 2 former student athletes. That's why he didn't take his starters out of the game and we got beat by 50-some points. He was pissed, but you know why he's mad? Because he knows that Herb Sendek has turned around every program he's been at. You better watch out, Mark Few, because the Broncos are coming after you. That's right, on to the game. I want somebody to live up to the Okay, email me and she's gonna email me too. Okay, here. I want you to look at the times of these games and tell them, okay? Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. All right, you guys, get your friends. Let's do this too. Don't forget.
Committee confirmations.
I gotta.
Is Charlie here? Sahil? What are our committee confirmations?
We have the, target transportation. I don't think, is target transportation here? No, right? And then prevention.
I think it was the same person.
Yeah.
Okay. Standing rules ad hoc committee. So let's move right on to Zach's thing.
My favorite topic.
All right.
The best topic, one might say.
All right.
One being living with this.
All right, Zach, you have until 7:35, right?
David.
What time is it right now?
Zach goes, I'm gonna hit
7:25. Oh, great.
7:30. I won't take that one. But I did prepare some notes. So, we're kind of coming to one of the things that I really wanted to bring to the Senate from the time that I got appointed. In fact, it's kind of the question that I really wanted to put to you all upon my appointment, whether or not you guys wanted to work on evolving, shall we say, from our current state of procedure to a more codified, formal, and consistently applied procedure within Senate meetings and consequentially within committee meetings. So I prepared some notes, and I really wanted to answer right now the why question. Why do we want to do this? Why would an organization want to improve their procedural, let's say, efficiency and fluidity, prowess, all those sorts of things? As the authors of the newly revised version of the best book in the world, Robert's Rules of Order, as they say, the application of parliamentary law is the best method yet devised to enable assemblies of any size, with due regards for every member's opinion, to arrive at the general will on the maximum number of questions of varying complexity in a minimum amount of time and under all kinds of internal climate, ranging from total harmony to division of opinion. And even further than that, procedural effectiveness has been a part of American history for as long as we've been a country. We adopted sort of our parliamentary law from England. And Thomas Jefferson, when he was the Vice President of the United States, wrote about this. It's one of my favorite things to sort of read about, is just sort of like how Thomas Jefferson dealt with being the President of the Senate. And he wrote the idea of like why it's important to even adhere to rules in the first place. He wrote, "It's much more material that there should be a rule to go by than what that rule is. That there may be uniformity of proceeding in business, not subject to the caprice of the speaker," meaning, in our case, David, not just subject to David's will, or whoever's in the chair, as the bylaws do right now say, may I mention. And not subject to any captiousness of the members. So the members shouldn't be able to just point out problems and make a fuss out of little tiny things. It's material that order, decency, and regularity be preserved in a dignified public body. These are some of the why questions. Procedure helps us to create dignity within our bodies. Procedure helps us to create a sense of legitimacy about the decisions that we make here. When rules are applied consistently and fairly, the sense of the public is that the decision was made not by our prejudices, but rather by the process that we have adopted together. Not all rules of parliamentary procedure found in Robert's Rules of Order are really applicable to every body, every deliberative body. We can pick and choose, but the important thing here is that motions and procedure is a set of tools which we could use to make our meetings run more smoothly. Roll on the ground. Through the adoption and adherence to certain rules and principles of parliamentary procedure, our deliberative body can increase its dignity, its effectiveness, consistency, its clarity, and its thorough consideration of the issues facing our student constituents. This Senate has the opportunity in front of it to start out the process for improving its meetings in these ways, and it doesn't have to sacrifice our characteristic sort of laid-back attitude that we like for extreme formality or any of the traditions of like strict parliamentary law. And it doesn't have to do that, but it shouldn't sacrifice a good procedure for the sake of efficiency. I thought the best way to begin this process would be by creating an ad hoc committee. An ad hoc committee, for all those who don't know yet, is a committee which is formed in a body like this for one purpose, usually a legislative purpose. And once it's completed that purpose, it's dispensed with, the committee would dissolve at that point. It would no longer be a committee. So that's the point of creating a committee of this nature, would be to seek out research and come up with ideas on one topic, in this case, standing rules and orders. What are standing rules and orders? These are sort of, this would be really a document which would codify procedural steps which are unique to our body, our Senate. This would be a reference document, essentially, for new members as well as present members to be able to preserve the rights of minority to speak and debate, for example, to preserve the right of the majority to always make a ruling on any issue, and to preserve the right of this entire body to deliberate thoroughly on any given question. I believe that it would be better to create a committee like this one, which has a limited scope of purpose. It will allow a small number of senators to focus together on the goal of creating a set of standing rules, as well as recommendations for any changes to the bylaws that might be relevant to the creation of those standing rules for the Senate then to consider adopting in the future. That's all I have to say. There are a ton of areas of priority which I'd like to emphasize to the Senate. One of those being debate. We need to have better rules governing how debate functions within the Senate. There's tons of reasons for this. Obviously, we've got the reason of making sure that any minority voice in the group is able to have their opinion heard on any question. Simple as that, right? And this is just sort of culturally significant as well in the United States. So having the minority be able to speak on their issues is important to everybody, and it should be. We need to have a better procedure on how we vote on things. This looks like making sure that for questions of importance, we take a roll call vote. We need to have better rules governing how motions are made within the Senate. It's clear to me that we don't get to use all the tools that are available to us, but having a document which would describe different motions, what their application is, and what their effect might be able to help new members and present members know what tools are available to them to change the direction of any given question. Lastly, different administrative procedures. This would be creating a set of guidelines, rules essentially, which would govern how agendas are put together, what the effect of an agenda is, how to tender a resolution to the Senate, how to make sure that the Senate has timely information on questions which are going to be put before it in any given meeting. So, when we have a nomination for any committee, we should have information about that committee. We should have information about who this nominee is, things like that. So, ultimately, I'd really like this thing to pass. We already have interest from several members of the Senate who would like to join the committee. And from there, we'd be able to move forward. I've got a plan, a timeline of how this would work. And hopefully, by the end of the process, we'd be able to create a set of rules that can help us to make our meetings better in the future.
Questions for Zach on
I should stay.
the Standing Rules Ad Hoc Committee? Lydia.
So when do you expect it to resolve? Like, how long do you think this will take to enforce rules, approximately?
It's a great question. I mean, ultimately, it would dissolve as soon as it's done with its work. If you're looking for like a strict timeline, I don't have a clear one,
You don't,
but
okay.
I'd like to have it done over the winter break, have a document prepared over the winter break. That's not true. Over the winter quarter is what I meant to say. Winter break is right now. It's like coming fast.
And also, did you resolve the comments period regarding
Which
the,
one?
it was like the Senate, like some places you referred to it as student Senate, so you can remove that?
Yeah, correct.
You resolved
The
it?
document was edited after that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're referring to when it says.
Yeah,
You're
because you
referring to
didn't
it
use
as
it, yeah, so it just looked, it was just unnecessary.
Yeah, I fixed all that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're just about out of time for this. So this week, we're introducing it. You should all be able to look at it, and we can vote to create the ad hoc committee, or not to, next week. Okay. And Zach, how exactly do you want to choose people?
To choose people.
How do you want to appoint people to the committee if it passes?
So traditionally, how that would look, if we did it like that for the Robert's Rules way or whatever.
I would appoint you as the chair, and then you would choose your people?
So what the language of the resolution says is that the chair appoints members to the committee. That happens right after the resolution is passed.
You chair or me chair?
You.
Okay, okay,
You.
got it.
I mean, we can talk about that later, what that like sounds like.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks for. ESO by law. All right, we talked about this last week for about 10 minutes, and now we have another 10 minutes to talk about it. So, Kyle,
All right.
what's changed?
Cool. So there have been a couple minor changes made to it. The main one being down here where we changed. So the $300 or the amount of money that's funded to them is dependent on them showing up to the CSI quarterly meetings. That was added to it. Additionally, just a couple just transparency things, just regarding making sure that any ESOs that are up for approval will be notified the week before to Senate from either in David's email or a separate email that SAC committee sends, as well as will be notified after they have been approved at the following Senate, so that you know both before and after they are presented. We also, and something else that we added to it is a condition, so just in case we have a bunch of interest in ESOs, ability for us to adjust the prorated amount. So if we say in the beginning of the year, we get about $300 for the whole year for the students, who want to form ESOs to form, but then there's some that have come in winter that apply. We can reduce that down from like a prorated amount for all winter quarters to set all ESOs that apply or all groups who apply during winter quarter. We'll get a maximum of $200. Main reason for that is to make sure our budget stays on track, so we can accommodate changes in flows if there's more ESOs that we were expecting or less. So for that. But besides that, nothing else has really changed. So if you have any questions, I sent an email. I hope the email that cleared up a lot about like where we see this process going and how this actually fits into that process.
Well, then we also have the recommendation addition, like we recommended to send, that's another addition.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. All the comments we made were addressed.
Okay, I should be specific about how this is going to go. So we can discuss this for a time. Listen to each other. Let's strive not to say the same thing over and over again. If you have an idea, we'd love to hear it.
And there's one other thing too.
That's right.
This is unrelated to ESO.
Okay.
I forgot to brought it up last week, but it's on here also. We were going to vote on. It's just two minor changes to changing budget plans from being a required document to being one decided by SAC.
Okay. So different.
It's completely not relevant.
Let's keep it to ESO right now. We'll come back to that. It's a pretty small change. So, Allie.
I was wondering if the other members of SAC could talk about how you feel about this and how on the same page you guys are about it.
Volunteers? SAC volunteers? Melanie? Yeah.
So how this would work, and how we discussed it was that it would just streamline the process, especially since they're looking through the whole list of RSOs. There are quite a number of them who are an RSO just so they can use our space and have the Santa Clara name. And so for them to be able to have the $300 or the amount that we front load to them at the beginning of the school year allows them to have better programs and allow them to plan better for the future. All the other RSOs who would prefer to stay as an RSO, nothing would change for them until we move on to the next phase with like our tiered, different tiers program later in the school year. But for the ESOs, I think it's a great way for us to be more efficient with our time and for us to really allow more freedom for organizations to do what they would like to do.
Mika.
And I'd like to add that I know one concern brought up was, like, let's say if they're an outside organization and we say they have to be pushed to a Senate vote, it's like, then what's the point of them, like, applying as an ESO when they could be doing, being an RSO? It's really important to know that you can be an ESO at any quarter, whereas at RSO, when is the deadline to apply as an RSO, Ted?
Week 2, do it every quarter.
Yeah, week 2 of like fall quarter. And also another thing that I believe is in the bylaw is that it's good that it's like they become an ESO because they can, like, you know, when there's a renewal process, they can apply to become an RSO. So they're like, oh, we went through the process, we might as well become an RSO. They can, like, you know, try to move up to the next tier. So that's always a possibility. In addition, it's good if they apply as an ESO so that they can have, like, you know, build traction, you know, they can find, like, you know, they can start events immediately and, you know, try to get more membership so that when they, like, know, okay, now we know we need more budget for this or we need, like more, like, reach, we can become an RSO in that sense.
Also, I think I speak for all of SAC, correct me if I'm wrong, but like we like talked about this, like we're all like on board for this like version of the bylaw.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions about this version of the bylaw? Sile?
Just out of curiosity, if this were to pass, would the current, like, let's say, like all the RSOs that are there now, would they be considered like grandfathered in as RSOs? So, like, if they, like if they were to continue to renew, like, let's say, like book club continue to renew as an RSO, or would they still be an RSO? Would they?
So as of now, they would be still an RSO because it's unfair to put them into an ESO category that has more restrictions than when they originally applied.
Anything else? Okay, wait. Raise your hand if you're comfortable voting on this tonight. Sick. Okay.
Motion to vote.
Second. Motion from Eric, second from Abby. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Yeah, by the way, we're just voting on ESO. We're not voting on that secondary one. Can I get a roll call?
Christina.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Theo.
Yes.
Ariel.
Yes.
Meg.
Yes.
Abby. Yes. Justin.
Yes.
Carmen. Yes. Raul.
Yes.
Luke.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
Zachary.
Yes.
Cam.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Vidya.
Yes.
Allie.
Yes.
Emmy.
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Duncan.
Yes.
Mika.
Yes.
Melanie.
Cool. Okay, let's briefly talk about, since we have still some time, let's briefly talk about that other minor change.
So this is solely just a small change to the rules that are already there. So for background, when RSOs apply for funding over $500, the term of their application is that they have to submit a budget plan template. In dealing with it, it was a good idea in concept, but one, no clubs really ever send it, so we always have to ask for it, and two, the information on it provides us with zero usefulness. It's the exact same information that's in the other requests. So we're just changing the language solely to make it that it's at discretion of SAC, because there's really no reason for it, and also that requirement will probably go away anyway once we redo the whole.
Any questions about this? Raise your hand if you're comfortable voting on it. Okay, we're gonna do a voice vote. Okay, so not a roll call. It's gonna sound like I'm asking for a motion to vote, but that is the vote, okay? So, all in favor of approving this minor addition to the SAC bylaws, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that was the vote. Passed.
Excuse me,
Yes.
I was actually cleared by Charlie to show up for the two committees earlier.
Okay.
And I just kind of waved my arm, but I wasn't sure if I'm still supposed to sit here. 'Cause I
Yeah,
was
no,
sitting
okay,
here.
so you're the one we're appointing to the committee.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Front and center, we'll
Okay.
ask you some questions.
Okay. I'm sorry if I talk slow. I got a concussion 3
Oh.
weeks ago. And I'm just getting back to my classes now. So like
Wow.
everything is like, whoa.
Okay.
You're a
So,
trooper.
Yeah, sure.
what,
It wasn't like it was like some majestical like hit in the head, like with a soccer ball. It was like a box fell on my head. So yeah, it was metal.
okay, so,
It
both
was at
committees,
work.
right? Two
What?
committees? Two committees. committees, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your name and would you talk about the committees that you
I'm Nicole Jacobus. I'm a senior, and I pretty much got an email saying they had an open spot in weeks 2, and I was like, hey, that sounds fun. I've been a commuter for the last 4 years. Parking here is not great. Pretty much, it's so hard to get a pass. Passes have increased by $75 just for a standard pass over the last 4 years, which is insane, but they're $400 because that is really hard to pay for. And also, just like the way the parking passes are given out, the parking pass options, no one understands it. I've had so many friends who've actually, I had a friend who thought they bought the right pass at Parking Transportation Services. They actually sold him a pass for the year before. So he kept getting ticketed. And then finally he went to the parking office and he was like, why are you ticketing me? And they're like, oh, we gave you the wrong pass by accident. So it's like, there's just not like, there needs to be like a much better processes. And I feel like I've actually thought these through because I have a lot of just lonely nights. So I have had to think it through and I'm like, wow, I can solve this. Prevention of unlawful harassment and discrimination task force. It pretty much is like creating a policy for for people to actually report sexual assault. I have multiple friends who've been sexually assaulted but have not gone through with reporting because they either like don't know where the Title IX office is, or afraid they're going to be rejected, or don't even understand where to go for the reporting process. And unfortunately, here so many different like organizations or stuff on campus are siloed. Like even just going to a concussion, I talked to 9 different people on the phone to find out that I could actually drop a class without a W because it wasn't expressly written in the policy. So I would either have to get a medical withdrawal for the entire quarter from all my classes or take the W in the class I'd have to retake next quarter. So I was like, NFW, it's not going to happen. And that's why I think that's the issue with that is like people don't just see a clear answer. And I'm a women's rights studies minor and I feel like I'm equipped to know the terminology and actually create a policy that's useful for people that people could actually look to and say, okay, we know what to do. Because anyway, those are my thoughts.
So your name is Nicole?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Nicole. I'm a senior, and I'm
Great.
like, I never really did anything student government. Like in high school, I did that. Then here, I was like, nah. And I'm like, it's my last year. Like, it'd actually be nice to do something that I know I can do without. I don't know. I've had like 3 weeks of just thinking. So I was like, yeah, that's something I can do.
All right.
Anyway.
Questions for Nicole on either committee? Mika.
Yeah.
Glad to see another fellow commuter.
Yeah.
I was also on the committee. I couldn't do it last year because they met at an ungodly time, but
That's fair.
or the year before that. So, is there any like thing you want to propose besides like the ticket? Like, do you want to like go for the VC?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think that should actually happen is like when you get a pass, like who wants to see that pass on the front dashboard of your car? Like when you're going to the grocery store. I don't want that out. It's just not appealing. So, like occasionally I'll put the pass inside my car, but then you forget when you go to park in the parking structure, and then bam, you get ticketed. And I'm like, what if, oh my God, we're in the technology age, if when they type in the license plate, it will pop up clear. Like you already have your pass there, as though they're playing the ticket you. Because I actually talked with the campus safety officer, and I was like, what is this process? And he was like, oh, well, it will tell us if you have a pass or not when we go to give you a ticket, but we can't stop the process once we start. And I was like, so you're gonna make me waste my precious time to have to go and petition the ticket? So that's my first idea. Yeah.
What was your position on high school student government?
I was the president my senior year, and I was spirit commissioner, which was like I made the events in my junior year, which was fun. And I was like, I'm tired. Yeah.
For the harassment and discrimination, specifically with harassment, are you going to work on the student side of it of increasing awareness about all the different agencies, or are you going to work on the agency side and try to like unify them so students don't have to go
I think there should be a combo because it's absolutely horrible to have. Like I talked to 9 different people just to be told, oh, you can drop without a W, and I'm like, I get why friends wouldn't report it because the school is so disorganized in the sense where there's not like one person you can go to and say, this has happened, now guide me through that process. which I actually found out there was on the 9th person that I talked to. So that's why I think that there needs to be a combo where students feel like, okay, I can go to this X person, they're gonna walk me through the process and I'm gonna be supported. And then also, there needs to be that too.
Okay, cool. One more question.
Okay.
Allie?
How do you feel like any potential like workload from these things might affect your recovery?
I've been taking so many incompletes. Thankfully, I didn't really have that many classes left to take, so I'm taking like 3 classes next quarter, and then incompletes in 3 that I was taking this quarter. So it's not too much. I like all last year I took 25 to 27 units, so it wasn't really like whoa. So this quarter I'm feeling great, and I think next quarter I'll feel pretty good too. Yeah.
All right, I lied. Mika. Last
Okay.
No, I just wanted to add, the Parking Transportation Committee only meets once per quarter.
Hey.
Sorry. That's basically you don't want to listen.
All right.
I'm good with that.
Thank you, Nicole. I think we're ready to vote. We have the room. Thanks.
I know I'm not supposed to walk too fast with my head.
Question. Do we technically have to white ballot this?
Yeah, we can.
Motion to white ballot.
Second. Motion from Eric, second from Raul. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Motion
You
vote.
guys want to do a voice vote again?
Voice vote.
Motion vote.
Okay. Motion from Al.
Second.
Second from Kyle. All in favor? Okay. Here's this part's the vote. All in favor of approving Nicole for both parking and transportation and prevention of unlawful harassment and discrimination task force? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I love that. Okay. We're back in.
Wait, get the door. Door first.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, let's move on. Let's go to executive.
Me update?
Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole.
Oh, it's you. Search for do it. There was only 1 or 2 left, so that's it. Come hang out with us at the Democratic Debates Watch Party in Dunn from 5 to 9 next week. Woo! And then for also other things, Big Ten.
All right. I think all the fish so it's back to go eat them.
Yeah, just bylaw things in the works. Nothing major, and then it'll probably be presented in the coming weeks, so you guys can have discussion on that. And then, quote, most of our insecurities do not fade with age, so don't wait to face your self-doubts and don't wait to accept yourself.
Aww.
Okay, I guess I'll do it, or not. Wait, is it the same as last week? Okay, UPC appointments are happening. You can read it. Okay, I don't know what he wants to say here. Sahil? He left, okay. We'll come back to him.
Yeah, okay, SEC. Allie is still working on Job with Jesuits. Emmy is still working on her Career Center / RRC / MCC project. I'm working on like a potential Res Life like share shelf in Res Halls, and Duncan is planning his next Greek Life Mental Health Summit. And Ariel will no longer be in our committee, and Leo is a new addition to SEC, so he and Meg will be working on the ASG Buddy Mixer / Mingle event with Bradman. That's all.
All right. Somebody who knows what's going on want to talk?
Yeah,
Raul?
so we're gonna be doing tabling tomorrow, so you guys can all come out. We'll be tabling from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be getting Costco pizza, Ipani, and Eric are eating that. I've been doing a lot of Res Life marketing, also doing like promo in Benson and just like a lot of like Hyundai Challenge Center things. So if you guys can help me out with that, we're gonna bake more tonight. And we're also going to RLCs tonight because I have nothing better to do. We're also doing a scan raffle, so you guys might have gotten an email about that. Abby's been working with Boycott Benson and Bon Appetit, and she has 8 meetings, emphasis on 8 meetings with them. So she's doing a lot of work with that, and she's also working on a faculty senate resolution. Christina and I will be working on ASG Christmas charity toiletries. So essentially what that is I need all your guys' help if you guys can help. We're gonna come up with like toiletry bags and hopefully ask for donations from like the whole school, and we'll deliver them. We still haven't decided where we're gonna deliver them, but probably either to people at St. James Park, which is in San Jose, where Vinny goes and gives out sandwiches, or possibly the Billy DeFrank LGBT Center or something along those lines. So if you guys want to help out making toiletry bags or have any items to donate, please let us know. My dinner with Father O'Brien got moved because our chair couldn't meet tomorrow, so that is still in the works. That's probably going to happen either early winter quarter or in December. And I'm also still working on getting staff senate, faculty senate, and ASG senate together. And then Eric and exec are working on a late night Bronco at the bar, trying to get beer in the Bronco.
Okay, yeah, so welcome Ariel. We went to our FOC dinner last night. It was great. Next Wednesday, come out to Mountain Mike's at 7 p.m. for free pizza and discounted beverages. And if you want to help with the Hyundai Challenge or brainstorm ideas, you can always message me. We have meetings and they're really fun.
All right, I didn't update my slides, but mainly, so now with ESO Pass, our next goal is like start working on drawing up the big redo of the other 2 RSO tiers. Then, yeah, Justin, Melanie, and Christian are still like looking at historical data, and Mika's updating the bylaws. And Zach has his ad hoc. All right, so SAC's recommendations for new RSOs. Developer Student Club Santa Clara University is still being postponed. Southeast Asian Student Association still, they're just reapplying.
Same as it was.
Are we doing these?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. So this is Ka Mana Hawaii. So this is their funding request, 52.59% overall. We recommend percent funding. We took some off for supplies and other, lodging and travel. So.
Questions there?
So why only 600 for travel?
It was mainly, we tried to do a similar amount compared to the other ski trip. Also, we don't think necessarily ski trips are the best way to use money for like retreats and stuff. So that was the main reason why. And also they'll be asking for, we also look at how much clubs will be asking us across the whole year. And we need to save some money this quarter.
Is this the club that have like 30 people going and renting a ski like resort or like something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Be sure to talk loud enough so that I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, Asian Pacific student, Aller student. So pretty much 69.84% funded. Everything was the same except for supplies and other, where we docked some because they were giving out prizes and gift cards, and SAC just doesn't fund those types of things. Any questions here? No, okay. SU Intandesh, also a ski trip, so we have a pretty kind of similar amount. Travel and lodging, those are just how we came to it, so 68% funded. Any questions there? Okay, Latinx Student Union, 66%. Took it, I think supplies and other was again, they had some like gifts, so we took some off from there. But overall, pretty well-funded request. Any questions? Society of Women Engineers. Yeah.
You like go back 2 slides, one more. Like funding request, it didn't add up. Like 900 plus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
I believe the right-hand side's correct. I think I think I just copied numbers over from another thing. That's why that one's wrong.
Is your percentage correct?
Percentage is
What's it
correct.
based on?
I think the percentage is
It's 1360 over.
Yeah, so the right-hand side is correct. It's just I carried over, I think, from another slide.
Okay.
They reused these slides.
Good catch, funny.
Latinx Student Union, or sorry, we did that. Society of Women Engineers. This is for the one for Suite++, where they're going to local schools to help teach. So the reason why it's so low is that they asked for food for an off-campus event, which we don't fund. They asked for supplies for students off campus, which we don't fund. We did give them some for teaching supplies because that can be used by them. And that's the main reason why it's so low. It's because it's an off-campus event. If they did it on campus, they would have received a lot more, but it's an off-campus event, so that's why it looks like that. And that is it.
Allie?
I mean, would it have been feasible for them to do this like on campus? Like it made sense to me like during their presentation, like they're going to the students that like are like they're providing help for. So I don't know that it's necessarily like fair to like I know that it might be in the bylaws. Is there any other kind of wiggle room in order to like have discretion and giving them more money for that?
No, because it's off campus. And that's the reason why. It's because the supplies aren't for their own club, it's for giving out, out.
And also part of, like a huge part of the supplies and others were gifts. We don't fund gifts even if it's for students or not.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay.
That's it for
Kyle, will you go through the names of these clubs that we are considering today, just quickly? Monaho, APSU, Intandesh, LSU, and SWE, and that's the last one, right? Okay. Can I get a motion to white ballot all of those?
Motion to white ballot.
Second.
Motion from Duncan, second from Mika. All in favor? All opposed? Can I get a motion to vote?
Motion to vote.
Second?
Second.
Motion from Abby, second from Cam. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, another voice vote here. All in favor of approving SAC's recommendations for the 5 clubs we just reviewed? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Yeah, what's your concern?
I was thinking, so I missed the white ballot. Like I don't think I'd like to white ballot.
Okay. Well, any proposed amendments to the white ballot?
To remove the SWE ++ from the white ballot.
Okay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, so we're going to move
Yeah,
forward. So those will all pass. All right, good. And let's do Senator of the Week.
Okay, so that's not
Oh.
supposed, okay, well, I was going to announce, I was going to do like a drum roll.
Oh, drum roll.
Okay, well, thank you to Cole because he's been really on top of everything. Like whenever I message the group me, I know a lot of people think it's a spam, but Cole is like always messages me like, hey, I'll do it, like I can pick it up, whatever you want. And he also has like talent, like he can cook, like he can bake. All of us are kind of just sitting there like just like tasting everything, but Cole was out baking and he's really been putting in a lot of work and I'm really happy to have him on my committee. Except I found him in an LMU, so I can't.
What are you the head
Excuse you?
So awkward.
It's
a good picture, though.
Good job, Cole.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope you continue with this. So this is at the end.
All right. On to the nickname of the week. I'm not going to do a drum roll thing. Just show the sign.
No free thing or anything?
Go. Go.
Yeah.
All right. Throwing Abby. So, at our Halloween party, Abby ate.
Oh, no, I think there should be a backstory.
Abby's vegan. That was my only vegan snack.
Oh, I get it.
She ate all of it.
You might have.
Okay, next up we have RSO plus 1,000 presentations.
Alright.
First up is Own It. Own It, are you here?
Yes, we are.
All right. So for all clubs that are presenting, you'll have 30 minutes time to present. I'll put up one finger when you have 1 minute left, and then I'll wave when you have 0 minutes left.
Excellent, thank you. We have the 7 handouts
If you like.
for.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
Wow, you really
Now share.
Okay, go on.
All right.
All right. Good evening, everyone. You might remember me from last year. I wore this exact RBG costume. We dressed as our feminist icons. Maddie was supposed to be Megan Rapinoe. I forgot her soccer jersey, but there she is. Gloria Steinem over here, and I am the notorious RBG. We're here representing Own It, which is Santa Clara's only women's summit. Emmy, whom you all know, is also on our executive team. It's a group that provides a space for women to tell their stories. The only club like this at Santa Clara. It's a space for women to join together, hear each other's experiences, and just grow professionally and personally. So the day's purpose is to, I'm missing one of our little, there we go. Development, networking, and personal growth are the goals of the day. It's a space for men and women alike to join together, hear these female speakers. Last year we brought in 12. This year we'll be bringing in a few fewer because we have a very exciting guest coming this year. And so we're excited to tell you about that and let you know what we're doing this year and why we need your support.
So for our fundraisers that we have, we've done 2 so far. We've done Mendocino Farms, which went really well, and Rocco's Tacos, which was nice because it was near campus. And then we have a few more planned for the beginning of next year. We're going to do Taplands, Osadero, and yeah. And then so our goal is to sell 250 tickets at $10 each, so for $2,500.
And our budget breakdown we present to you. $100 for advertising. This is our SCU Own It sign that we will be putting on our tabling so that people kind of like come up, ask us what is Own It. A lot of people don't know, so we think it's very important that we have a sign that will entice people to come over. We have $5,000 for entertainment. This is our largest. This is for Molly Bloom. I'm not sure if any of you guys know. $5,000 is a lot. We understand that. Molly Bloom is the true story of Molly's game. It's a big motion picture. It's a figure skater who turned this huge poker, a famous skier who started this huge poker ring, and she's just coming in for us. She's discounting her price to come in and tell her story, and we think this will not only entice a lot of people on campus, but it also applies to a lot of things that we can own our own lives in the way that she has owned hers. Food is our next expense. We're getting in Bon Appetit. We're doing the Bronco breakfast because we're only going to do half the day to entice more people to come in, so it's a shorter amount of time. The total price of food and water bottles is the $2,800, and then with 70%, we have the $1,977. And then transportation, we are paying for Paula Schneider. She's the CEO of Susan B. Komen to come in. We're getting our flights for her, so that's the $500, and then we discount for your 40% for $200 from ASG. Supplies and other includes balloons, brochures, gifts for our speakers, which is water bottles, stuff that not only stands for Own It, but also that entices our speakers to come, a little gift, and that brings us to a total of $8,033.09, which is a lot, we understand, but obviously most of that is Molly Bloom, which we think will entice them to come.
Yeah, so this year, Own It is going to be bigger than ever before. We have our biggest speaker that has ever attended Own It. Molly Bloom's speaker fee is usually $25,000. Somehow we bargained that down to $5K. So if we were requesting $25K, you guys would probably be looking at us like, heck no. But here we are. We're really excited to put on this event for all of the people at Santa Clara to understand why it's important to appreciate women and the journey that they have experienced to be the successful figures that they are. So we're hoping that you guys will consider our $8,000 request because go own it.
Thank you. You guys are good.
Okay.
Yeah. We will send you questions if we have any.
Excellent. Thank you.
Should I do the slide?
Thank you.
You ready?
Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I'm one of the culture show directors for Chinese Student Association. We're part of the clubs in the Cultural Center here at SCU. This is Edison and Patrick. These are our other culture show directors, and this is Jeff, our treasurer. We're presenting to you today for funding for our culture show, which as always takes place in winter quarter and is our biggest event of the year.
So the purpose of our culture show is to bring excitement, entertainment, and a great appreciation and understanding of Chinese culture, and a greater public through the traditional food, traditional dances, song performance, skit performances, and the struggles and perspective of Chinese living in America. And in general, we focus this time with a striving towards sustainability.
These are some images from last year's culture show.
Yeah, so our show is planned to be February 8th, which is Saturday of winter week by winter quarter. And in Simoku Tele, we have everything booked already. and our expected attendance is to be about 200 people, about 150 guests, 30 volunteers, and 20 performers. And all students are welcome, of course, and ticket prices are set to be $15, and $12 for the student for entire table time.
So just to give an overview, every year for our culture show, we do skits related to the Chinese and Chinese American experience. We also have dance and martial arts performances by both outside companies and students. This year we're going with the Rising Phoenix Line Dance Company. We'll also have musical performances, and as always, dim sum and boba for the people who attend, and raffle prizes.
Okay, so the breakdown for the advertising and marketing is about $163, mainly the tickets, event programming itself, and posters for advertising.
Entertainment this year is largely the same as last year. The only change is that our line dancers are slightly more expensive, and that's because our previous line dance company is unavailable this year because our culture show is on the same day as the San Francisco Lunar New Year parade. So they charge a slightly higher base rate, but other than that, everything else is the same as last year. We have our photographer and choreographer, as well as our costumes for dance and skits.
So the food breakdown, the budget allotted for food is always the biggest one. It's mainly dim sum and greens, so dumplings, spring rolls, fried rice. Also dealing with supplies, utensils, plates, cups, napkins, all that jazz.
So for supplies, we're requesting about $1,700, and this basically includes everything we need to organize and run the show. We need stuff like paper lanterns, table runners, disposable tablecloths, blackout curtains, and some items for our raffle that we have, and just facility fees for Locatelli, etc.
Yeah, so overall, here's our overall breakdown. Advertising, we're requesting about $81. Entertainment, we're requesting about $721 out of $1,400. Food is about $2,400 out of $3,400-ish, and supplies are about $859 out of $1,718. Again, all of these, except for entertainment, because of the higher base rate of our line dance company, all of these are the same as previous years.
And so for fundraising, we have a few fundraisers planned, as well as we're selling CSA membership, as well as T-shirt sales. So for some upcoming fundraisers, we have egg puff and milk tea fundraisers, as well as our Absolute Night Market, which usually nets us quite a bit of money.
Yeah, so as our planning stands, we have pretty much our skit and performances down already. We're just in the process of finalizing, our skits. And Locatelli has been reserved, like I said, and we're in the process of finding volunteers to help out, and we're also purchasing supplies that are sustainable and useful.
Any questions?
We're actually going to forward questions through Kyle to you. Any questions that senators have, so we're going to move on. Appreciate you coming. Thanks. Thanks, guys. You're free to go. We're not voting on this. Is that it, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I don't have any announcements. Justin, do you want to? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Raul, second from Mika. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Wait, so,
Sahil hasn't done it.
Sahil, did you want to talk about what's on your slide?
Yes, just one thing. The most important thing. All right, real quick. So, ASG buddies.
I didn't really like the schedule tonight. I kind of like the way we mixed it.
Okay, ASG buddies. We're due tomorrow by midnight. You need to CC me on the email. If you already sent the email and you didn't CC me on it, you have to forward me the email. I know a lot of you in Senate already have sent an email, but I'm going to list out who haven't. Sorry, one day I'm calling you all out.
Call me out.
Ifani.
Let's go.
Ifani, Juliana, Zach, Duncan, Christina, Theo, Justin, Allie, Eric, and Julia. All set.
Hell yeah.
Is it pretty good? So please takes literally 3 minutes most to just send an introduction email and say like, hey, I'm so and so. Yeah, that's a nice.
Okay, cool. So, we're gonna adjourn in a second here.
Send it.
We're not done yet. Got the sidebar really quick here. So, we're gonna adjourn in a second. Pat's gonna take a roll call, and then be sure to grab your name tag and just put them up here, because I'm gonna keep them all, so we can always have them in one place. Okay, now your roll call.
Christina.
Yes.
Cole.
Here.
Theo.
Here.
Ariel. Here. Meg.
Here.
Abby. Justin.
Present.
Carmen. Here. Raul.
Present.
Luke.
Here.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Amber.
Here.
Zachary.
Here.
Sam.
Present.
Lydia. Allie.
Present.
Emmy. Here. Bonnie.
Here.
Duncan.
Here.
Nika.
Here.
Melanie. Present.
Awesome. Adjourn. Yeah. What's the procedure? Right here.
I know. Yeah, I know. I guess it's just like anyone left. That's great for me.
See, I can.
You're right.
Alright, well, congratulations.
Oh my god.
Update, SC's back in first place by
I know, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Using our like programs as a tool. Such a good idea. I forgot we had that resource. Yeah, so I'm excited. I want to go next week. On that picture.